Darling, it's the Shy Life podcast.
Yes, but it's a positive thing, Paul. The high life, the shy life.
You won't find a cast of characters like this everywhere.
Hello, Paul.
Delicious.
This particular episode of The Shy Life is a little more abstract than usual.
Oh,
Okay, it looks like the hairy guy is ready to record. 3, 2, 1.
Go Shy Yeti.
Oh, I hope he hasn't found out my secret. Do you think he has?
Hello and welcome to yet another episode of the Shy Life podcast with me, Paul the Shy Yeti. How you doing? I'm doing all right. So, you're probably wondering what we're going to do for this episode. Well, it's going to be one of our Chatterbox shows. At time of recording, I'm not sure what we're calling it. We're not doing the Chatterbox shows every month at this stage. The last one, I think, was our spring edition. Spring or Easter or something. Now, I guess this one could be our summer special, our summer Chatterbox, but it seems a bit early as we're recording it in very late May. So, I don't know. I'll probably have come up with some other title for this edition of the Chatterbox series. But I can promise you we do have many various voices this episode, including one or two of the regulars. I've got so many things I need to remember that I'm bound to forget some of it. So this is why I'm recording this bit before they arrive, so that they don't so I have to battle whilst I'm trying to introduce them. But anyway, I'm sure there'll be extra material at the end as well, but we'll just have to see. But yes, lots has been going on, and I'm sure that we'll be covering as much of it as I can remember. And of course, this is being recorded around the time of the 5th anniversary, so there are probably going to be some flashbacks to old episodes. At least I hope there will be. Maybe some quizzes. I've got a new box of tricky trivia. But anyway, we should run the theme music, and when we come back, the guests will all be here. And yes, we'll get chatting for our Chatterbox Shy Life podcast. Run that theme music.
It's time for my old buddy, old pal from across the channel, across the pond, Bob Chandler, the Shy Yeti.
He's not that shy. Oh, the shy life podcast. Yeah.
All I wanted was a pie.
And then I hatched out with an egg. Okay, bring the mic over. He's ready to record.
It's the quiet ones you've got to watch, you know.
Is it metaphorical? Is it deep? Is it deep?
Boy, he's not all that shy, is right.
Blimey, Governor. It's the Shy Life podcast.
If you thought that was bad, just listen to this.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait for it to begin.
It's the Shy Life podcast.
He's positively glowing.
Wonderful. Is my volume okay?
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah.
All right.
I'm not going to repeat that one. Warren says hello. I'm not going to say what he said, but he did say hello.
Big hug, Coffee.
He's sending you hugs, Coffee.
Lovely. Hugs back.
He's sending you hugs back.
Oh.
So we've got me here. We've got Martin in Martin.
Hello.
And we've got Lisa, Andrew, and Warren in Lisa, Andrew, and Warren land, but they've only got 2 microphones, so they're having to tag team. So,
Listen, I mean, that's the way you got to do it sometimes.
but then we can't all talk at once because nobody will hear us, so it's fine. I'll try and keep in charge. I'll reintroduce you properly.
Yeah, just be a hard taskmaster, Paul. And
Yeah, I will. I'm sure. I'm really mean.
It's like being on question time.
I'm flashing the lights at you. No, that's not right.
We need to find a biased plant.
Oh dear. Right. I've done the first bit. I've just got to do the right. You're right. We're starting now. I think yes. Are we all recording? That we need to record. I guess I'm recording on Dudo as well.
We started recording about 6 minutes ago, so you've got a load of faff at the start.
Good. All right. Hello, listeners. Here we are for whatever this is, Chatterbox edition. We've got loads of guests, but that seems only fitting because, as I said before, it's the 5th anniversary or around that time. So although there are how many people? There's about 6 of us, I think, but we're all in different areas of the world. There's me here in Yeti Land. We've got Martin Holmes in Martin Land.
Hello.
Yes, and we've got Toppy Smelly in Toppy Smelly Land. Well, in Pickle Hollow, of course.
Yes. Hi there.
And then in Andrew, well, I guess in Round the Archives Land, we have Andrew, Lisa, and Warren. So,
Hello.
Hello.
Say hello, Warren.
Hello, Warren.
Listeners, we don't have enough microphones, so they'll be taking turns. So I'm sure you'll I've got so many things to do that I think we'll just do them as I remember them. But first I need to. This is something I need to tell Martin. So you're allowed to listen, everybody else. But this refers to an episode of the Shallow podcast that will have come out by the time this episode comes out. And it's just a little thing I need to remind. I need to answer a question that we raised when we were talking about the music of 1968. Yes, and you were saying that you thought that Mike Nesmith sort of vanished from the Monkees before he left the band, and I've looked on Wikipedia and I've discovered that I think he had a throat operation, so he wasn't in every episode, but I think they spread it across the second season. He might be in, I think you said he might have been in the pre-recorded stuff at the beginning or end, but he hadn't actually. He hadn't.
There were just a few episodes, weren't there, where he didn't feature at all, or at least not in the main acting bit.
Yeah, and I think there's also
listen to the band.
There's also differences in hairstyles and
bob hats and things.
Apparently,
I think he has a perm, doesn't he, towards the end? Big old perm.
Apparently, Mike Nesmith doesn't wear the hat as much in the second season either. So,
I have a question. I'm just wondering how the Monkees was received over there, where y'all are. Or did it seem like an abomination, an affront to the Beatles? Because over here it was like I was just a kid when it was on, but I happily watched it, and I don't know. I just wondered how it was received over there.
My sister loved it. Yeah. My sister loved it. I mean, she had 2 of the early albums, when she was buying albums, LPs, So I suspect they were just sort of kind of huge musically, really. I mean, they sold a lot of records over here. So
I love their stuff. I mean, I know they didn't write it, and that they had, a whole crew of really experts doing this music for them. But I just love their stuff.
Absolutely.
It was being repeated in the UK well into the 80s because that's when I saw it, and I like the 60s. I like 60s music anyway, and the Monkees were sort of like to me like an American Beatles. They weren't worse, or they were I think their shows were enjoyable. I would really like to own the Blu-ray set, but it came out and went out of print like almost in less than a year. So I'm hoping it'll show up again, because I did see an episode on YouTube in the last few days and was chuckling away, and it was definitely watchable. I guess it's still watchable now.
I remember the title sequence very well, because there was that bit where they used to run into the sea.
And the waves would come and they'd run back. And I remember doing that at the beach when I was very small. sort of recreating it. And I always remember being slightly disappointed because there's that line, "We may be coming to your town." And they never did come to my town. And I always remember being slightly disappointed at that. So,
because Horrible Histories recently, in the last 5 years or so, did... because they used to do musical numbers as part of the episode, and they did one about philosophers.
The Greek philosophers.
And they did it in the style of the Monkees.
Yeah, sort of recreating even some of the movements in the title sequence. Yeah,
but is that...
And to kids of today would not get any of the jokes in that video.
Firmly aimed at the adults in the audience.
So that's for people that remember the Monkees. Yeah. We'll have to send you that, Toppy. Yeah.
Would you think that actually some of the Goodies title sequences were influenced by the Monkees title sequence?
I was just going to say that I have a thing in my head where I could think of the Goodies and the Monkees alongside. So funny, yeah. At least it's not just me then.
When the original Shrek cartoon movie came out and ended with that monkey song, I don't care what the rest of the movie was, but when it ended with that monkey song, I was just deliriously happy.
I mean, in 1993 or 4, when we discovered, my friend Kerry and I, who I went to university with, and who also was in Sutton Park, we were interested enough in the Monkees, in our early 20s at university, to try and track down a copy of Head, which was the movie they made after the series ended, and that was enough of a sort of student cult in the early 90s that it was something we were sort of wanting to see. So
can you clarify something? Because I think you just said the Monkees did a movie after their TV series.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
I didn't know that.
It was written by Martin, help me.
Oh, crikey! I thought it was written by them.
It was written by Jack Nicholson.
There you go. But
Jack Nicholson, the actor.
It was kind of, must have been slightly before Easy Rider.
Yeah, it must have been. That was 69.
So it must have been that kind of independent filmmaking, wasn't it? I mean, it was kind of guerrilla filmmaking at that time. Yeah.
I would guess. What did you say the title of it was? I got to see this now. What was the title?
It was Head, Head. And they did have an album called Headquarters, but I don't know.
Headquarters is quite a lot earlier, but Head is kind of it's like the epitome of 1968 California lunacy, as far as I can gather.
Yeah, it's a bit like, in the same way as the Beatles' Magical Mystery Tour TV show was all a bit all over the place. So was Head. Lots of sort of flights of fancy and psychedelic sort of goings on. Well, they were the same. I think they were pretty much the same, around the same year. Although I think Magical Mystery Tour might have come out at Christmas '67, but I might be totally wrong about that. But it's around the time where they didn't really feel they needed to have a solid plot. They could just kind of be bizarre.
It does appear to be fully available on YouTube.
Just to point out, Lisa and Warren have exchanged places, so Warren is now here. So just to mention to Warren, we're talking about the Monkees.
One of the first manufactured pop groups.
Do you remember watching it when it was on the Beeb in the early 80s or whenever it was last on?
Yes, I was never a great fan of the Monkees, unfortunately. I was interested in the work of some of the members of it. I went to see Bugsy Malone, which was done by Michael...
Mickey Dolenz or...
Mickey Dolenz, yes, Mickey Dolenz, that's right. No, but I was never a great fan of the Monkees, I'm afraid.
Because he also produces Metal Mickey.
Never mind.
I just point that out.
We all one has one's crosses to bear in life.
But to explain to Toppy, Metal Mickey was a very low budget-ish ITV sitcom in the late 70s, early 80s. So I'm not quite sure Mickey Dolenz was directing TV in the UK at that point, but he was. But
I'm quite thrilled to find out that both Dennis Hopper and Jack Nicholson are in Head, as well as Frank Zappa.
Yes, I think Frank Zappa is even in an episode of the TV series, because I came across that as well. So yeah, they must have been hanging out with him quite a lot around that time. But
well, they had a lot of actually credibility, didn't they? I mean, there was quite a lot of there's photographs of them with quotes real musicians, you know. So they actually got quite a lot of credibility towards the end, certainly.
Yeah. Yes, and Martin and I have. I think we've yabbered, haven't we? We've yabbered, and we've kind of concluded the furthest extent of the original run of the Monkees, because although you won't hear it for months yet, we've recorded up to 1971, which is the last recorded sighting of the original. by which point there was
before they were released into the wild.
Back into the wild.
There was only two of them,
and then Planet of the Apes came out, and everything changed.
I think for about half an hour there was just one of them. There was just one of them in the Monkees, but
there was a monkey.
I can't remember which was the last. I can't remember if it's Mickey Dolenz was the last.
Mickey Dolenz is kind of like the Brian May, isn't he? He's going to be there, sort of holding everything up till the bitter end. You know?
Yeah, but now. I have something. So that was my thing I needed to tell Martin. Now, the thing I need to tell Andrew is going to shock him, but it's possibly going to shock you all. But
well, I am easily shocked. Warren, put that way.
Well, I have some news.
Warren, stop fiddling with that. What are you doing? You're trying to turn it up. What? You're trying to turn it up. What? Don't turn it up. There you are. I've turned Warren up.
Oh,
sorry.
8:30.
Andrew, I have some news about Ethel, the landlady. I've received a little package of postcards. Right. Now, these postcards, I don't know, they've been travelling around trying to find me for the last 28 years. They're all dated early 1993, and they're all from Ethel. And apparently, in some other version of or some other timeline where I did go to live with her, apparently she went on holiday and I looked after her cat, and she sent me postcards, but she sent them almost like one a day. But rather worryingly, she seemed to have, even though we were in Birmingham, she seems to have gone on holiday to Sutton Park. And so I mean, she's got very big handwriting. She doesn't get a lot on each card, but the
huge hands like a wrestler.
Yeah, they're basically cue cards with the
hands
script.
like shovels.
Well, apparently her cat was called Bobbins, and she was. I'm just paraphrasing here. She was keen that I would be looking after Bobbins, and I think she'd encountered a number of the. I think she definitely encountered Katrina the witch, although I don't think she realised she was a witch. I think she just thought she was somebody of her own age group.
That wouldn't surprise me.
And yes, I think she'd met the amphibian man, but she's
all at sea over that.
For the I think she was taking him for the postman. But
was this? I mean, did these turn up because of them finding all this stuff in this dead postman's house? Is that?
I don't know about the dead postman. All I know is that
it's just apparently some mail got delivered about 30 years late because some postman had died in his house and they found this bag. So I think it's about 12 years ago. So apparently there's people are suddenly getting magazines from 12.
Well, that might explain it. But the only thing I'm sure at some point
that'll explain why I didn't get my reply from the clinic all those years back.
Do you know your results or not?
Sorry,
are you clear or not?
I'm still.
Are you pregnant? Are you pregnant or not?
Well, he thought he was.
I thought I was. One dropped off.
I'm sure at some point in the future we'll try and make contact with Ethel.
Nice to hear a new wrinkle in her timeline. I said wrinkle, Warren. Stop laughing at wrinkles. Yes, interesting.
The last couple of cards, the cards start to sort of they're coming like daily to start with, and then as it goes, she looks like she was away for. Well, it looks like she liked it. She liked it at Sutton Park, and she was kind of she kept saying, "I'm going to stay an extra week. I'm going to stay an extra week." So maybe that's where she ended up. Maybe she never left. Although I don't know. It's just more mystery to the mystery. But at least we know. Maybe
I think this is probably going to unfold further at some point. So nice to have an update though, at least. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I needed to update you about that. But
okay, well, thank you.
Now I have Yeti Uncle John here, and I think he probably wants to speak to. Actually, probably wants to speak to Andrew and Warren. And well, he's spoken to me about it, but I think it's a ridiculous idea. It's another one of his plans.
A scheme.
Shall I usher him to the microphone?
Usher away. Once. Yes, usher him into our presence.
Yeti Uncle John, come on.
You may stand, Yeti Uncle John.
Hello, guys. How are you doing?
Hello.
I've had a great idea. I've been watching your progress on that game you play that weekend, and is it called that?
The game we play at the weekend?
No, it's called Weekend, isn't it?
Tell.
Next Tuesday. No, what's it called? Friday week.
Last month.
Tiddlywinks.
Fortnight. Fortnight. I remember now.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So I thought I might become a pro gamer. Yeah.
A pro gamer.
I'd heard you were game.
I'd heard he was a pro.
Oh well, there you are.
No,
more than halfway there.
Yeah.
But no, I thought you could teach me how to play these computer games, and is it like Pac-Man and stuff?
Have you got a joystick?
Oh, I might be able to get hold of one.
Can you work up my one?
Uncle John, that's mine. You have to get your own. Well, apparently I've got to get my own, but I might be able to get a joystick.
How good is your manipulation?
I can waggle.
Right.
Do I need to? What sort of manipulation do I need?
Back and forth.
Oh yes, I can do that. I've learned some of them techniques when Mr. Toppy Smelly taught me magic. He taught me all sorts of hand movements, so I can sort of perhaps incorporate them.
Yes, indeed.
And
you need to be able to sudden actions.
Sudden actions.
You need a sudden action.
Yeah,
quicker than the eye.
Oh, I can do that. Yes. I did ask Paul if he'd teach me, but he said he was too busy. I just thought that. Anyway, he's not very good. Anyway, I'm sure you two are much better. At least that's what.
We could have a go. We could have a.
We're all game for having a go, aren't we?
Yeah, we could have a long session one night if you like.
Yeah.
I like a long session. Yes,
full-on session.
Come on, Toppy.
If you're a pro, if you want to be a pro, though, I did point out that people expect to be able to see you doing it.
Oh dear!
You need to have sort of a video facility.
Audio and visual is a big help.
Yeah,
it is a big help. Yes.
It wouldn't be the first time. I'm sure
you
it'll be
need
fine.
a few large pointers on that one.
May I suggest a good computer game to start with? It's called table tennis.
Oh yeah.
You might want to start with that one.
Yeah. But Toppy, I just thought that I'm not very good at the magic, but I think you've taught me invaluable lessons that I could bring across to the pro gamer world.
That's good. I'm glad.
Oh, I have noticed there is a thing these days that there is a thing, yes.
Yeah.
Some people like to broadcast from their hot tubs. Yeah. So do you have a hot tub?
I do.
Or perhaps you could just sit in the sink.
It sounds like you have a hot tub.
Perhaps you could sit in the sink with a packet of Flash or something.
I'm sure that Cuthbert has a whisk attachment. He could just whisk so that I'm covered by bubble.
Failing that, some beans of some kind about an hour beforehand.
I was going to say I might be able to help you with bubbles. So.
Oh right, yeah. I was just wanted to ask, because obviously if I'm bringing over my magic training, is there much opportunity for slicing people in half, cutting people in half magically in your computer games?
Magic Battenberg.
Pardon?
Magic Battenberg.
What's a magic Battenberg?
Do you slice your Battenberg?
I haven't had a Battenberg for years.
Oh, that's your problem, man. You need to have yourself a Battenberg.
All right.
That'll put lead in your pencil.
I haven't got a pencil.
Well, hairs on your chest like stalks of rhubarb.
If you say so.
I think it's all moving very quickly. I'll take it one step.
It's not here, I can assure you.
There's no life in it at all.
It's listless.
I'll
go away and have a ponder.
Have a ponder.
That's what I suggest. You have a ponder in the corner.
I'll put the paper down first.
Yes, it's time for you to sit down now, Yeti Uncle John.
Yeah, I think he's getting overexcited.
He looks a bit flushed. I'm not sure what's going on in his mind. But no, that's not a joystick. No, put that away. You have to get one from Amazon.
Step away from the joystick.
Yeah, that's not a joystick.
It's not big and it's not clever.
Anyway, so as you all know, listeners and guests, it is around this time. It's 5 years. We've been doing the show 5 years. And,
happy anniversary!
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, well, a little more enthusiasm there.
He don't care, do you? He doesn't care.
That didn't come across as I meant it to sound. Thank you.
He's wearing a party hat. What more do you
That's all. That's the frightening thing.
Well, I'm going to get everybody to select a clip now from the show, but it's in the usual way, but they won't know what on earth they're selecting. But I shall go round you one at a time, and what you need to do is to choose a month and a date, a month and a year. So where should I start? Lisa, could you choose a date and a month and a year between 2016 and now?
We're gonna need to tag team a minute. So Warren,
that's fine.
Can you remove yourself?
It's all heavyweight from now on. I'll pass you over to Lisa.
We'll just have to have a pause and an edit here. Hang on. Lisa, can you...
While you were heavyweight, Lisa, I was just saying, as in broadcasting...
Paul wants a date and a month and a year.
Okay, a date, a month and a year.
Yeah.
24th of July 2015.
Oh no, we weren't doing the show then. Has to be since
Sorry.
I won't tell what you was going to say then.
2016. Shut up.
Okay. So
It's the pilot.
No, we will be one.
Yes, of course it was.
24th. The nearest to the 24th of July is episode 9. And that is a Yeti way of thinking. The show that was my last live poetry show that I did at the Poetry Cafe in Covent Garden, and I had done videos for a lot of my shows around that time, but this one, because I was doing the podcast, I did a podcast version of the show. So and I had some guests, and some of the regulars were there, and some familiar voices like Mr. Nick Goodman was there, and I'll play a clip of that now. I really need to get in my dressing room. I wanted to change my Facebook. I know you can't see it. Usually I have a red top hat that I wear, and because I'm going to Salisbury to see my family and friends, I didn't want to have... I've got so many other things because we're going to be converting old tapes that we did in the 90s, and so I've got... In my bag I've got all the stuff of that. I've got clothes, I've got things that I want to take back, So I've got a lot of luggage. I just didn't want to take the top hat as well because I thought it would get damaged possibly. So instead, rather than a red top hat, there were 2 hats that I bought in Amsterdam when we were in Amsterdam. They're really kind of red. They got dots, polka dots. They're both red as well. So it's my sort of concession to not having the top hat this time. So I've been wearing one of them and I want to swap, but there's somebody in my dressing room. Okay, it's not a dressing room, it's the toilets for people with wheelchairs and things. But there's somebody in the I don't know who it is. I didn't see anyone with a wheelchair or anyone that might need to use it, but it's supposed to be my dressing room. Oh, here you come now. Oh, hello. Don't I recognise you?
Hello, it's me, Damius Twinklehorn. I've come to see your show. I was just checking out your wardrobe.
Hello, Damius. Gosh, first time we met face to face. I don't really have much there as far as costumes are concerned. You must be quite used to costumes and things, all the acting and stuff you've been in.
Oh, yes. Yes, I've done a lot of acting, as you know. I've mainly played trees, though, of late, and you don't seem to have many clothes in there, in your dressing room that involve trees or leaves.
No, I'm just reading poems tonight. I'm not dressing as a tree, as much as nice as it probably is. But how's the whole Cat Hamlet thing going? And I suppose that was a few weeks ago now.
Oh yes, well, it does get quite confusing. I've been having troubles because they want me to, they really want me to mix all of my talents together.
Ah, yes, I remember you saying, yes, they want you to do Cat Othello, but dressed as a tree and in the shape of 1960. Oh, it does sound very confusing, but anyway, have you enjoyed the show so far?
Oh, yes, I saw that John Smallshore. He was very good. And there's that young gentleman, that Mr. Richard, with the smart beard. He was good too.
Yes, well, they are very good. They're both very good. It's the first time that Richard's done anything like this. I'm really proud of him. It's very nice of him to come to the show, and I've got his book. And what did you think about? Have you heard any of my poems?
Oh, yes. You thought they were very nice. A bit strange, but very nice. You ought to write a poem in cat, so that some of your cat listeners might better understand what's going on.
I will consider that. Well, actually, I'm really must get into the dressing room, so perhaps I'll see you at the end of the show. And yeah.
Oh yes, that's right, for sure. Okay. Bye now. Thank you.
Bye now. Thank you. Thank you. I won't be long. Right, just going into the dressing room. I'll leave you now, listeners, because I just need to change my hat. And, a man needs a bit of patience, a bit of time to himself when he's changing his hat. Okay, there'll be some more poems coming up in a minute, I think. Okay. We're going to speak to John now. Hello, John.
Hello, Paul. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you.
Lovely to see you looking so well.
There you go. That's amazing, that really expensive suit you're wearing. They can't tell because we're on audio.
Yes, it is rather nice, isn't it?
Yes.
Marks and Spencer's done all.
Yes. How do you think it's gone? It's going so good so far, isn't it?
What, the world? No,
no, not the world. The important things, the poetry show.
Yes, I always think this goes well. And it's all down to the people who do it, really, isn't it?
Yes.
The comedy of it. Yeah. And the pathos. That's a good word. I used to think pathos was one of them musketeers.
I thought it was one of the Spice Girls, but yeah, one of the other. Yeah.
But digressing.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Lisa. Lisa, are you still there?
I am, yes.
Yes. Do you think there's anything that Yeti Uncle John could get involved in, which would, use history? Because I know you know a lot about history. Is there anything you think that Yeti Uncle John could, learn, or something that he could? That's just something to keep him quiet. He's just he's such a flippity gibbet. He just goes from one idea to another. But
right. Anything you could learn about history?
Yeah, I guess just learning about history is enough. That would keep him busy. You could do it on a day-to-day basis. Like this is what happened on January. This is what happened on January the 1st, 1066. This is what happened on.
Perhaps he could look into the sort of Civil War era, really, because that might appeal to him. Because there were lots of battles and fighting, and I don't think there were any bears.
I think he'd have to decide what side he was on first.
Yes,
if he was in the Civil War,
what side
would Yeti Uncle John be a Roundhead or a Cavalier?
Yes.
Which hat would he prefer?
Yeah.
Did they ever? I guess. Oh, maybe he'd like medieval torture because he likes the sawing people in half thing from magic. So I think it's a matter of appealing to things that are things that interest him.
God, he might end up putting you on the rack.
No. You don't want to be on the rack.
Right now, for us ignorant Americans, when was your Civil War? What year?
Oh, the Civil War runs roughly from 1642-ish, possibly slightly before, to the King Charles I was executed in January 1649 by the parliamentarians.
Very good.
It might be a bit earlier than that. I'm not an expert on the Civil War, we could actually look it up. That would be better, wouldn't it?
Yeah, keep talking, and I'll give you some dates.
Sorry, there are no episodes of the Charlotte podcast that cover that period, but
no. Well, you definitely weren't running then, so.
Do you have a garden, Paul?
We have fields. Well, we have fields near us, and Yeti Uncle John has his magpie hut. Which has.
I just thought maybe you could interest him in archaeology, and you might get the garden dug over.
Oh! I got it. That's a brilliant idea. And listen, the hobby that keeps many people busy is you get a metal detector. Send him out there, and he'll wander around with this metal detector and going over the ground. That's perfect.
Well, funnily enough,
I can see him doing that. Yeah.
Yeah. Funnily enough. Listeners may have heard the episode by now, but in our second random word episode, one of the words that came up was metal detector, but neither Nick or I had much to say because neither of us had ever used one, although we both sort of said we kind of always liked the idea of using a metal detector. But,
it's a hobby, yeah.
So just to clarify for Toppy, sorry to interrupt, Paul, the Civil War runs from 1642 to 1651.
Oh.
And you don't actually get Oliver Cromwell, who everybody associates with the Civil War, until quite late on in the Civil War.
Very good.
You also have the Rump Parliament
The Rump Parliament, yeah.
Which conjures up all sorts of images in my head.
Very complicated, because there was the Long Parliament and the Rump Parliament.
Yes, there was all sorts of parliamentary things going on.
And they locked themselves in there at one point to stop the king getting in. And it was a very tricky time for everybody.
There was all various sorts of parliament, including the Blessed Parliament, the Addled Parliament, the Long Parliament, the Short Parliament, and the Useless Parliament.
Some would say that still works. The Useless Parliament.
Like really bad BBC double action in the 1970s.
What about the Git Parliament?
Well, that's the current one.
I do like the sound of addled Parliament. I like that.
Well, I can always have a word with Ick. We could always have a little trip back. I know his time travelling isn't that that trusted, but if you fancy it. But I've been promising to take Jay to meet the dinosaurs for years now. But who shall I ask next? Toppy, could you choose a date, a month, and a year between 2016 and now? Something in the last 5 years.
Alrighty, let's take 2018, and let's take November.
And sort of what end of November?
Let's go late November.
Okay, let's see. So the very latest part of November, we have an episode from the 28th of November, episode 208. Well, it's called Well, It's My Birthday Too. Yeah, it was a second part of one of my birthday extravaganzas.
There no doubt was much traveling.
Yes, I have a feeling. Well, I think this was the one where we had a. Maybe it might be when we had a party. And I didn't really want a party, and then I got turned to stone or something like that. You are involved.
Oh, I didn't know that at all.
Something about technology. Yeah, no, that's. Well, let's have a listen and see some of the wackiness that went on. I don't want to sound like I'm being sort of egotistical, but I think she has her eye on me. I know it's mad, crazy.
Don't you think you're probably imagining that after all?
I can't tell. I can't work out how old she is because she kind of has this like a hoodie jacket sort of cloak thing.
She has a hoodie.
Yeah, like a cloak. But she was kind of I think she has quite big hair, and she was wearing like a cloak thing. She's quite well dressed, I'll say that. But she kind of said, "Oh, you should come and have a drink in my office when you've got a chance."
Yeah, you're really well dressed when you wear a hoodie. Anyways, continue, Paul.
No, it's very expensive. It's an expensive hoodie.
Expensive hoodie, yeah. Okay.
But anyway, you know where my interests lie, and it's not with ladies in cloaks. At least not romantically.
I wasn't going to say anything, but okay, Paul, go ahead.
I just feel a bit. Well, sometimes when you meet new people and they don't know that your interests are. Yes, and then you have to.
It's all It's just a snafu mistake.
It's fine. I've had a couple of glasses of wine, and I'm not at my best as far as kind of negotiating. I don't want to find myself in a compromising position, but
Jesus, don't say that.
I just realised that I was a bit rude. Well, I don't think I was rude. I was a bit sort of, I got to go sort of thing. I feel a bit awkward. I think I'm going to have to nip down there perhaps in a bit.
What, you're going?
No, I'm going to nip down, maybe offer her some food, a plate of food or something.
Yeah.
Because I just feel, I just feel like I'm maybe, I feel like I want to apologise. No, I feel like I want to apologise for being awkward.
No, you should eat something before that wine,
Yeah. No, I think you're right. Look, I better get back to the party. Do you mind?
Okay.
Are you going to be around for a bit long? I'll give you a call.
Listen, I'm at home here in Pickle Hall for the rest of the night. If you want to talk, that's fine.
I'll give you a call and tell you how the party went when we're back.
All right.
Okay. Thanks for I'll speak to you in a bit.
All right. Bye-bye. Have a good time.
Thank you. Hey, listeners, come with me. I'm nervous, and I want some moral support. I'm just going down to speak to Maddie, the janitor lady. I've got a kind of glass of wine here and a little plate of food. And anyway, come on. Hello, Maddie. Just do you mind if I've got something for you here. I have some food and some drink for you.
Oh, hi. What's your name?
You met me earlier, Paul, the guy who's hired the room upstairs.
Yeah, okay, I remember now. Oh, Paul, you're a cutie. Come down into my lair here.
Your lair? Here's some. Do you drink wine? Some wine here?
That's beautiful.
Another plate. I've done you a plate of salads and things.
Bonbons and stuff.
Yes.
Petite fours.
You've got the deposit, haven't you? So we're probably going to be winding up in about, what is it now, 9:30? So.
Paul, I want your deposit. Yeah.
Fine. I ought to get back to the party.
Look at me.
I am.
Oops.
Oh my goodness.
My cloak has fallen, and you can. Wow, I can see you. Look into my eyes.
Oh my goodness! I can see. What? Oh my goodness! What? Listeners, Maddie she's a gorgon. She's got snakes as hair.
My name is Medusa, baby.
Is that politically correct to call you a gorgon or Medusa?
It's fine.
Okay.
As long as my Harryhausen animates my snake hair.
Sure.
I don't care.
I can't believe we've never had a gorgon on the Shy Life podcast before.
Yeah, no, it's the first time for everything.
Anyway, you were saying, look into your eyes.
Yeah! Look into my eyes, you're a hunk of stone.
Oh, so I am.
Pa, if you're a hunk of stone, you can't be talking.
But I'm a podcaster. I have to talk.
Yeah. Oh, this ain't right. Shut up. You're a piece of stone, so stop it.
Well, there we go. Yes.
I remember that now.
That was very well. Yes. Well, my birthday episodes, one way or another. Sometimes my birthday takes up the whole November, but there we go. So let me ask Martin. Could you choose a rough sort of date, a month, a year?
I'm sort of intrigued, really, because I am forgetting what life was like before all the strangeness happened. So I think, what were you doing in February 2020?
Good one.
What's the end of the month?
The beginning of the month.
Okay. So the start, February the 6th. This isn't that indicative of what I was doing, because it was an episode I recorded back in July 2019. Right. But it's episode 312, Shy Yeti and the Fake Beasts of Old Loch Ness. Wow. It was an episode that I'd recorded the previous summer where Callum and I had gone to Dunbar and we caught up with our friend Nessie. And Lisa and Troby were involved because I think we talked about sort of beasts of various kinds, and there was a problem at the time where Nessie was getting people trying to pretend to be Nessie, and it was a matter of what we could do to sort of sort that out. But so it was an episode involving the location footage and all sorts. So.
Them were the days, eh?
Yeah. I think I managed to record. Well, around that time, I also went to Bath, and not to the Bath City. And
so you were one sparkling clean Yeti.
Yes, I think that was the only time that I got to leave my flat for an actual holiday last year before things. Hi listeners, we're in Edinburgh. Now I did mention before that as part of my plan, I wanted to come to Edinburgh because I wanted to get, well, I didn't really say quite what I wanted to get, but what you'll have heard by now, I wanted to get some proper bagpipe noises, some authentic bagpipe, I can't say it, it's too hard. Some authentic bagpipe noises, sounds, music, because it's all very well getting some, bagpipes from YouTube or some music site, or but it's not the same as going and recording it yourself. No. I'd like to go out there and collect my own sound effects, my own music, if possible. Not always possible, because we're so used to hearing podcasts and watching TV where they've layered sound over some action. Obviously, when you watch a film, when they were running about, there wasn't necessarily music playing in real life. You don't wander around out on the streets, do you? And your life isn't soundtracked by music. Well, mine isn't. Actually, that's not quite true. Mine is sometimes. Anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I just wanted an excuse to come to Edinburgh because some real music, some real live music that Nessie can use as part of the plan. You see, what I want to happen is that when Nessie dresses up in his new scary costume, his new scary monster drag, that he opens his mouth and rather than hiya or whatever, we have a scary bagpipe sounding bellow, which will all be reversed, so it will sound even scarier than like a normal bagpipe does. That is the plan. As we said before, the trouble is with Nessie, people are so used to what Nessie looks like they're not scared. This is why all these fake monsters and Nessies and I don't know, Loch Ness hamsters and stuff have been springing up to steal his thunder. So this is why the plan is to dress him up, to give him a new look, to really sort of bring back the scariness of Nessie. So yes, so that we're coming to this big plan now. It's coming to a crescendo, and really the rest of it is for Nessie to do. I know we've been working on the costume, or at least the regulars have, and Nick's going to drop that up, and because Cromitty's quite good at makeup, he's been involved with amateur dramatics, and obviously so has Damius, and Damius has been giving advice. It's just all coming together, and I'm sorry if I'm waffling. It is very hot here in Edinburgh today. As I say, we'll be passing everything over to Nessie, and hopefully it'll all be a success. It'll all be a success, and his reputation will be returned, and he'll be scary old Loch Ness monster. Yes, gender fluid. Not sure quite. Nessie is Nessie. We've already said that. Yes. Oh dear. So I think I'm gonna go and have a drink now. Actually, yeah, maybe a boozy drink. I don't know. I've lost Callum and Sheila. I think they've already headed down the hill to the nearest bar. Don't blame them. It really is hot, but I think it's even hotter down in London. Oh dear, oh dear. So played a clip of that one. So who is nearest the microphone out of Andrew and Warren at this moment?
Me. I am here.
I thought we were.
So you're going to tag with Warren? Warren, come and sit by me. Come on, sit down. Come on, don't be scared.
I'm envisioning their little set over there on that couch, and how the three of them are. But it's interesting.
I'm just getting visions of the Kent Walton. We feel we should have with the tag teams.
Right, do me first then.
Yeah, sure. What would you like? Yeah.
Are you ready for me now, sir?
I would like the 3rd of May, 2019.
Ooh.
Because I've got no idea what that is. So I'm just standing in the dark.
About 2 years ago, but it will feel about 20 minutes ago.
It will do.
Run true to form.
Well, we have episode 249 for you. It was called Yeti'S New Assistant. It wasn't Cuthbert. I was assigned a little robot called Rob. who Cuthbert was instantly jealous of.
Oh dear. Those were dark days on the Shy Life podcast.
Yeah, it's not entirely sorted out, but at least we don't hear from them quite as much these days.
Control Incorporated will help, Paul. Just you see.
I suppose so. All right. So what do I have to do?
Apparently they will be getting in touch with you within half an hour.
Half an hour? Golly. I wonder if they'll ring on the phone, or what details did you give them?
Your phone number and also an email address.
Oh, okay. Oh, just a minute. So I've got an email just popped up. It says it's from. Oh yes, Control Incorporated.
What does it say, Paul? Is it an email?
Looks like it's an email, but there's a welcome message, and then I'm supposed to log on to some sort of I don't know, like a instant message thing. Oh, I've seen one of those. You can talk to people directly.
Listen to the message, Paul. This is exciting. This could be the end of all your problems.
I guess so. Let me have a look. Okay, so this is a message.
Hello. I am your new assistant. My name is Rob. It is a pleasure to meet you. I would like to welcome you to Control Incorporated Management Services. I will be taking charge of your social diary as of today, so that we can properly manage your time, and also ensure that both your writing and your podcasts are exposed to as many people as is possible. We are committed to helping you, but you also have a responsibility. This means following all guidelines that our team set for you. At some stage in the near future you will be invited to a meeting with our senior managers, where you will be expected to raise any questions, issues or requests that you might have, so that our management team can best help meet all your needs. Thank you for joining Control Incorporated. We look forward to doing business with you. We will be in touch again in a few days.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to make of that. Sounds quite ambitious, but guess I'll give it a go.
Oh, Paul, that was a surprise. I did not know that you would be advised by a bot. If I knew that, then I would never have bothered. I am your bot. I can advise you. I thought you would be helped by a human being.
Well, Cuthbert, I wouldn't worry. I think he inferred that I would be going to speak with a manager later. He's just like somebody who sort of relates the information, I suppose.
But I am your bot, Paul. Me, Cuthbert the robot. I do not trust this Rob.
Oh, well, I'm sure he'll be fine. I'm sure he's fine. Anyway, you do help me and you do assist me, Cuthbert, but I don't think of you like a servant or a bot. I see you as a friend. And, you know, this Rob, he'll be working for me. That's different. And you can still advise me as a friend. You know, you and I hang out, we do stuff, and you help me with my projects and with actual stuff to do with the podcast. You know, specific stuff with the films. You're a technical wonder, Cuthbert.
I suppose so, Paul. Just be careful. Some of these bots can be very snooty.
Oh, I know that. So, Warren, would you like to choose a year between 2016 and now, and a month and a date?
Okay, we'll go for 2019 and the 31st of December.
Oh. Was that a live one?
Oh. Yes, it was, but I guess there were two different episodes. The nearest one to the 31st.
Well, that's typical of Warren, isn't it? Oh, yeah, get twice as much for your money.
Well, I mean, this is the trouble. There's obviously going to be a bit of a lag. But,
I like more of a bang for my buck.
You do.
Yeah. Well, what you get, the nearest you could get the last episode I released in 2019 was episode 304, and it was the live episode that I'd done on Christmas Day. But
mistletoe and wine.
So that's the clip.
Thank you,
I'll play
Richard.
that now. Oh, don't know if you can hear that. The doorbell. Sorry. Comedy, can you would you open the door, please? Yes, Paul. Okay. Oh dear, very persistent. Sorry, I don't know if you can hear the doorbell, but it's very noisy. Toby got us a new doorbell. And are you going to open the? Sorry. I think they are. Dear, oh dear. Sorry. Well, this might be our special guest. Hello. Come in. It's not. You're not the Santa I was expecting. Sorry, listeners. I was hoping to let him come in. Sorry, I was building up, and I left it rather last minute to sort of explain. But I was kind of thinking we were going to see Santa. But I was kind of hoping it was going to be our friend Santa, the one that we helped out. But this just seems to be a Santa. Apologies, I don't mean to put you down. Yes, we have a bearded gentleman who has entered the flat, and please, Santa, we're live on the stream on 548. Please come and say hello. Oh, right. Hello. Yes, ho, ho, ho. Yes, I'm Santa Claus. It's very nice. Very nice to be here. Yes, ho, ho, ho. Yes, you don't have a Christmas tree, though, do you? Why don't you have a Christmas tree? You don't have any decorations, actually. No. Oh, dear. Yes. Cromitty, please help Santa make him a drink or something. Yes, I will. Yes, please do. It's weird. It's a little bit strange. Sorry, listeners. That's Santa. He sounds familiar. He sounds surprisingly familiar. Cromitty. Is it just me? But does that Santa sound like Zap? Well, I think he certainly has a Birmingham accent like Zap used, but I don't think it's Zap. But I do think it's somebody else. But obviously there was another episode that was released broadcast live that day. There would have been the New Year's Eve episode, which got released actually as a podcast in early 2020. But so I did do a New Year's Eve episode. I can't remember quite what disastrous thing happened that year, but always something.
Do you prefer to do a festive edition, or you prefer to do just a run-of-the-mill normal edition? Well, that's a good question. I'm not a very Christmas. And in 22, it'll take me 2 hours to explain that. No, I'm not a very Christmassy person, but I do quite like the challenge of doing Christmassy episodes of the podcast. Although it does get quite busy from about November to sort of Christmas. There are times of the year when there are certain episodes certain events, or like am I going to do an April Fool's episode this year, or am I going to do an Easter episode, or am I going to do and then you have to sort of like a Valentine's episode. That's another one. You need to kind of keep your eye on the calendar, and of course the episode that sort of became partly the Christmas special was episode 400 at the end of 2020. So there was lots going on in that, and it was my Christmas special, and it was the last episode of the year, and it was a big number, and I was getting quite close to not getting it out before the year ended. So I think originally it was going to be my Christmas episode that came out a few days before Christmas, and then it was still being edited after Christmas, so it became my Christmas and New Year episode. I was quite disappointed that you didn't answer the question with, actually, we pre-record it in the summer, and we have Christmas off.
Well, that's what we're doing now.
Well, yeah, that's what. Well, the one sort of event that I have been known to record like that is the Halloween episode. I quite often record the Halloween episode in the summer. Sometimes
because it's less frightening when it's light in the evening.
Well, it's actually because I go to I have been when I was able to go on holiday. I have been known to spend a week in a spooky house, or it's not that spooky, but it's a big old house in the country down in Kent. Wow. With a big at least gives me something to sort of to work around. So I've often recorded Halloween things, in August or
in an old back room somewhere.
Yeah, in an old back room somewhere with creaky doors.
The shy life behind the magic.
But I'm pretty sure that I've given that away before now. But Yeti Uncle John, as you're here, would you like to choose a clip? Oh yes, I'll do that.
Paul, I know what he's going to say. It's going to be an episode that he's in. So I'm just saying. I'm just warning you.
It's quite possible. Yeti Uncle John, what are you going for? Oh well, I was thinking about September the 23rd, 2017, or nearabouts. All right, okay.
Sounds perfectly innocent. All right.
It's the Yeti Uncle John special episode. No, it's not what I think it is. Yes, so there's one that came out on September the 26th, and that was episode 111. That's the Man-Eater of Kew Gardens, but and that was when we met our friend Dusty, the talking plant. Whilst we were exploring Kew Gardens.
Dusty Mark.
He spoke a bit like this. Hi, guys. You can understand why he was only in about 3 episodes.
That throat can't take it.
The last time he was...
was he on 60 a day or something?
I'm not sure. He did turn up.
Yeah, well, it was helium balloons.
Because for a long time we didn't know quite what happened to him, but then last year he was he was discovered in a garden in the Isle of Wight
with a label attached to his leg.
I didn't know he had a leg.
I'm not sure.
I must have mistook it for something else.
It's a large
root system.
Yes, it needed seeding.
He wasn't a man-eater though. He was actually a scone eater, and he was a dandelion as well. So, very large dandelion.
Did he eat his scones with the jam on first, or the cream on afterwards, or the other way around?
I always forget.
Because there's a big debate about that.
There is a very, very big debate. Very big debate.
I always forget which way round. I sometimes I do it both ways just for the hell of it, really.
Varieties of space alike.
Now, when you guys say cream, do you mean butter, or what do you mean?
No, cream, as in cow juice, but left to.
Yes.
You say I always prefer jam on top.
I think that's why I have
I'm just easy
as well.
You're mad fool.
I can't remember. I get confused and I do it both ways. I do one way or the other.
I use the jam as the glue to hold the cream on.
You see, you can claim that, but
we
need photographic evidence of that. Anyone can claim they do it both ways. But
you'll probably find that evidence on Instagram.
But on that note, I'm going to hand the headset back to Lisa.
Now, look, I'm just terribly curious. So you have a scone, I think you said scone, and then you pour milk over it.
No, it's because it's cream, so it's hard cream.
Like whipped cream.
Yeah.
These damned differences between our language.
Well, it's called clotted cream, isn't it? Which sounds horrible.
Horrible.
Clotted cream, clotted arteries. Kind of goes together.
Nothing happened whilst I was in the cafe, did it?
No, but something doesn't ring true. Something doesn't ring true. I thought I recognised him.
Recognised him?
Well, not specifically him, Well, the type of plant.
Oh, he said he was just a big, like a big dandelion or something.
Very big, from what I can tell. Aren't dandelions small?
Well, they are usually pretty small, yes. Yeah. Good point. What are you thinking?
I don't know. I asked him if he was sure he wasn't from space. Like a seed that had fallen from a plant in space. It would make more sense if he wasn't, from down here. If he wasn't from Earth.
I suppose you're right. Yes, you're probably quite right. I wonder. Maybe we'll find out more next time we're here, or maybe... Oh, is that Paul? Paul and Toby, we better hurry up.
Oh, yes. Gosh, I've got so much to tell Paul.
Here, Paul. It nearly got eaten by a man-eating plant.
I did not.
What's going on?
Don't worry, Paul. I'll explain to you on the way home.
Yeah, I was going to say we ought to get back. yeah. He's got nibble marks. He got nibbled by this man-eating plant.
Shut up, you Uncle John, you silly thing.
Sounds like you two have been having an adventure. We lost you. We didn't know where you were. Toby and I didn't know where you were. Oh, sorry. Oh dear.
Don't be a stranger. Come again. Oh, yeah. I like company, don't I? Yes, I do. You're right, Dusty, you do. Company's good. Yes, it is, Dusty. Yeah, the company is good, Dusty. Yeah, come back. Do come back. I get so hungry. Oh, I love that jam. Strawberry jam. It's so red. Strawberry jam. Yum, yum, yum.
I'm going to choose a clip now, as it's. I'm going to try and think. I want to try and pull out an episode that hasn't had a clip from it used. Actually, I have some. I definitely, if I was going to choose episodes, there were definitely episodes that I would like to put clips from, but I can't remember exactly when they went out. So, I'll say March the 3rd. 2017.
I remember that one. Yeah.
Such a happy day.
That was around the time, the 5th of March 2017, episode 58. It's bingo night. That was an episode that was set at the bingo night that sometimes Nick and Ali take me to. And
that's like a real honest-to-gosh bingo game.
Yeah, and some of the regulars came along.
But you don't call it bingo, right?
No, we do. That got. I can't remember whose show. Was it Big Fatty Show? He was saying that we don't call it bingo, and I was shouting, yes, we do.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know where he got it into his head that we didn't. But it's one of the few times that we agree on something as far as naming it. So I should play a clip from that episode.
Meanwhile, back at Paul's flat, our two heroic cacti are still... Do you remember them, by the way? They were in a previous episode. Two cacti sitting on the windowsill in Paul's kitchen, yes. They're back again. They like to gossip and chatter. Yes, well, they're doing it again. Their names are Bert and Gert. I'm not sure which is which. I'm sure they'll introduce themselves properly. Anyway, moving on. Anyway, yes.
Oh, what's wrong with you? Oh, I'm just stretching. You're just stretching. You got to be careful doing that sort of thing. Don't tell me you're doing exercising. Oh no, I wouldn't exercise. No, I mean, I'm a round cacti. No amount of stretching is going to turn me into one of those tall, thin, skinny cacti, is it? No, I was going to say you're pretty much a hopeless case. Ooh, you cow. Oh, I don't know. Oh, I could be like them. Well, I couldn't. I ain't got the biology to look like them. Yes, I know that, Gert. I know that. It's quite evident. It is quite evident that you are a short, fat, round cacti. All right, but you're no better. Oh, no, I never said I was. All right, well, just be careful what words you use, Bert, because it can be quite hurtful at times. Oh, I don't mean to be hurtful. I do not mean to be hurtful. Not at all. I wouldn't want to hurt your feelings. I really wouldn't, my dear. Oh, I know. You're a caring gentleman. I always say that. Oh, you really are. Oh dear. I don't like where we are. What do you mean? What do you mean with our relationship? No, I mean where he's put us. He's moved us, hasn't he? Oh, sorry, yes, I never thought, yes. No, he's moved us. We're not looking out across the station car park anymore, are we? No, we are not. And it's a crime, I tell you, it is a crime. An absolute crime. Oh, I know, yes. I'm quite in agreement with you there. Oh, I don't know what at least we got moved together. I couldn't have bared to be bed. I couldn't have coped with being by myself. I couldn't, I tell you, I couldn't have done that. I couldn't have coped, but I couldn't have done. I know, Gert, I know. And you would never don't you worry, you would never have had to be on your own. I would have come and found you. I would have levitated across the flat. I would have levitated across the flat to find you, my dear. Oh, you're such a... Oh, and I'd have done the same if only I learned how to levitate. I haven't actually seen... can you actually do that? Because I've not seen you do it. I ain't seen you doing it. I've heard you talk a lot about it. No, believe me, if I need to, I shall levitate. So, I can. So, but anyway, don't need to worry about that, because I am here with you right now. Oh, you are. Oh, I feel so safe. Where do you think this is, anyway? It's not the kitchen. It's like one of the back bedrooms or something. I keep seeing that cat wandering past. I don't trust that cat. He's got funny eyes. The eyes are too close together. Oh, yes, I agree, yes. Oh, my goodness, you still got that cough. You need to look after yourself. Bert. Well, to a certain extent, I'm rather dependent on our owners to look after us. I mean, obviously, if they weren't doing so, then we'd just have to go and levitate and get some water. I know. Well, you think it's get too used to like being weighted hand and foot, the roots and branches. We don't have branches. Well, you know what I mean. No, I do understand what you're saying. It is true. It is the actual truth. It is the actual truth. And here, yes, that. I was just thinking about stuff the other day. Oh, what were you thinking? What was going through your little head? Well, I was kind of cogitating. Oh, you weren't. Oh, you filthy thing. No, that's not a filthy thing. Thinking
thinking in your brain, in your head. Oh, sorry. Oh, something. I don't know what. I don't know what words mean. I just don't. I know. I never did. I was awful at school. I tell you. I couldn't do sums. I couldn't do much at all, to be honest. Oh. Well, you're a genius as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, what was I thinking? Oh yes, I was thinking. So, I had a question for you, Gert. What do you think you were in your last life, or who do you think you were in your last life? Who do I think I was in my last life? Ooh, let me think. You know what? I think I was that Florence Nightingale. Oh, really? You're a very caring person, I'll say that for you. I know that's what people tell me. I think, quite possibly, in another life, I was Florence Nightingale. No, that's right, yes, Nightingale, yes. I think that's probably who I was. The trouble is, I know, I can't stand the sight of blood. No, I understand that. I don't know though, you don't necessarily, you can always get the other nurses to deal with the bloody bits. You don't have to, you can just kind of do all the directing. You could have stood there and gone, oh, there's a lady over here needs some help. Come over here quickly. Get me a hot chocolate. I guess I could have done, yes. Maybe that's what I did. I can't think. I'm a bit worried though, how many nurses do you know with prickly paws? Well, I wouldn't have had prickly paws then, would I now? No. I'd have been a person, a lady. I wouldn't have had cactus paws. I wouldn't have had, But, the nurses, they got to be good with pricks, injections and stuff, so I think that's another reason I think I'm probably related. Yes, I can see that, yes. Yes, I would not be surprised, my dear. So, what about you? Who do you think you were in your last life, then? I don't think there's any doubt who I was. No, I was, God, do you want to guess? Oh, I guess I could guess. Let's have a look at you. I think you might have been that Brad Pitt. No, how can I be Brad Pitt? He's not dead. Oh, I see what you mean. Oh, I'm so silly, aren't I? Oh, I'm a silly thing. Oh, who? Well, what about that Harry Potter? No, I wasn't Harry Potter. He's not only is he, he's not real for a start. What do you mean, dear? Harry Potter, he's not real. No, I don't understand. Sorry, don't understand. Oh, so who were you then, anyway? Oh, God. I was Elvis Presley. What do you... I would have thought that was quite obvious. Oh, I bet no. Yes, now you say it. Oh, yes. Go on, do me a bit of Elvis. Alright. Ain't nothing like an hound dog, crying all the time. I ain't nothing but an hound dog, crying all the time. I ain't nothing but an hound dog, crying all the time. Yeah. Aha. Oh my God, I've come over all week. I've come over all week. All week I've been coming over all week, Oh yes. Oh, I love it when you do that. Yes, you are. I'm lost for words. But you're my hero. You are. Oh, I love it when you do that. Oh dear. Calm down. Yes, when you've got a bit of
you got a bit of joie de vivre, then, you've got a bit of joie de vivre, haven't you? I don't know, dear. You look fine to me, but if maybe you do need a bit of weed killer. No, joie de vivre, it means like a bit of lust for life, a bit of something else. But yeah. Have you got something else, have you? Oh, I'm so sorry. I hope it's not gotten to your roots. Maybe have some of that Baby Bell stuff. Oh, what's it called? Baby Sham? No, that stuff they put in the water. It might perk you up a bit. Yes, maybe it will. Oh, I think I'm gonna have a nap. Oh, I think I really do need to have a nap. Oh yes, you have a nap. Keep up your beautifulness. Just stare at these four walls and imagine you as Elvis Presley. Ah.
Now, before we go, I'm gonna cheat because I can see that a few episodes up is one of my favourites because it's one of my silliest episodes. It was the April Fool's episode for 2017, episode 64, The Dragon Child. It's the episode where I got very drunk and was propositioned at a disco by a gentleman who got me pregnant, and I hatched an egg. Or did I? Who knows? It's all April Fools, but it was when Albert first arrived on the scene, and
I think that was the episodes when the censors first got on your back.
It was a very Dancy episode in that I think I woke up and it was all been a dream, but there was still an egg waiting on my doorstep. So it wasn't. And that's where Albert came into the show, and I was able to reuse a voice from Sutton Park. I mean, sorry, Albert. But yes, pulling back the curtains. Yes, the voice that you hear for Albert is also the voice that you probably heard on. You may have put two and two together when I've done Sutton Park clips. If you ever hear a character called Little J. Little J has the same voice as Albert has, but it was easier to explain a talking dragon than it was to explain the backstory of Little J.
Maybe they're related.
You're what? Pregnant? Paul, I can't believe it. I can't understand it. How can you be pregnant? I don't know, John. Don't shout at me. I didn't expect it. I didn't know it was going to happen. I'm as mystified as you are. Oh dear. What exactly do they know? Like, what have you been up to? Eh? Bloomin' egg. Oh dear. I just worry about what Toby will say. He's away at the moment, but he'll be back soon. And I don't think it's his. Oh dear. I mean, look, come on. Like, I don't know that much about birds and the bees, but I do know that gentlemen don't usually get pregnant. Is there something you're not telling us? Oh. Well, no. Well, the doctor did say that it's not going to be a normal pregnancy. It's not like a baby. It's probably going to be an egg, and it'll probably come quite quickly. An egg. Oh, goodness me. Can you think of anything that might have caused this? Didn't you go to some party the other day? I did go to a party, yes. I did go to a party and... Oh, what was it, Paul? What are you remembering? Well, that's the thing. It's difficult to remember because, well, it was a heavy night. I do remember meeting somebody though. Oh, goodness. It wasn't a man. It was
Well, he looked a bit like a dragon, to be honest. A dragon? You haven't been mucking around with dragons, have you? Well, I not that I can, not mucking about with. No, I can't remember. Well, I think we need a flashback, don't we? Yes, I think we probably do. What? Come on then. Let's do it. Where is everybody? Hello, podcasters. Oh no, I'm the hello, listeners. It's me, Shy Yeti. I'm drunk. Hello. I love this party. Oh, wah, wah, wah. Oh, you're nice. Hello. Hello. How are you? You're a fine-looking fellow. Oh, don't be so silly. I'm just a fat old... I'm drunk old... I'm a Yeti, hello. Yes, well, I kinda like fat old Yeti's. Yum, yum, yum. Oh, stop it now. Stop it. You're not going to eat me, are you? Don't blow your flames. Don't blow your flames at me, Mr. Dragon. Oh, you're very scaly, aren't you? Oh, yeah. Very scaly from top to bottom. Oh, I can't see your bottom. Maybe you'd like to. Oh, I'm not sure, I'm shy. I'm shy. No, well, aren't you the one they call Shy Yeti? I am, yes. I am. I'm not that shy. Oh, really?
So that's quite enough. That's quite enough clips. Thank you for choosing, giving me some dates. Now before we finish, I've got a very short quiz. We're all going to have a question. The other day when I went to have one of my vaccines, I decided as I left the house I was going to pop into Paperchase, the card shop, and because I've not been in a shop for a very long time, I of course went a bit crazy and bought lots of cards and things, and I found this. It's a box of questions. It says tricky trivia. It says 100 fun questions to test your guests with. And you're my guests. Apparently,
I suddenly feel the fun is going to be questionable.
It's going to fill any awkward silences.
Oh, right.
So, I can just edit those out. But so, who would like to go first? Who would like to answer a question first? I shall take it randomly.
Andrew does.
Okay.
Yes. Well done.
Yes, I do, Toppy.
Well played.
I do indeed. That is right. Go on, fire at me.
Right. Okay, your question. Oh, yeah. Actually, I did take a glance at some of these, and I do wonder if they've got some of these questions off some of the quiz sites.
No, not the same ones again.
So your question is, what part of the body is the pinna? Pinna.
Pinna? The pinna? Well, I've not actually heard that question before. So... Pinna.
Batman.
I have absolutely no idea. I'm going to say the ear, because you could pin back your ear, couldn't you?
Well, you would be right in that case.
What?
It is the ear.
What? No! I don't believe it.
Doesn't say whether it's which bit, whether it's the lobe or the muscly bit or the...
Blimey. I better quit there whilst I'm ahead.
Oh, which reminds me, I suddenly thought of another thing I was going to tell Martin. When we were talking about 1968, it's the Monkeys again. We made some joke about, I wonder whether they got... We were talking about Batman and the Monkeys, and we made some comment about... I don't suppose they got Batgirl for season 3 of the Monkeys. Maybe they'd have had a third season. Apparently, they obviously we were just joking around, but when I looked at the episode guide, they didn't get Batgirl, but what they did get was Burgess Meredith playing the Penguin in an episode of the Monkeys.
Now that I would like to see.
Yeah, so our silliness wasn't actually as silly as...
You see, that's it. You can't. No matter what you think of, somebody's already done it. That's the sad truth of life, I think.
As I've lured you to the mic, I'm going to give you the next question.
Nominate Andrew.
Yeah. Whatever the question is, yeah.
We're stuck in a time loop. Martin, actually, you might get this one. Fits in with some of the stuff that we, musically. Which other Mick was once a member of the Rolling Stones?
Oh, crikey!
And it's in the sort of... Well, I'm giving you this bit. Which
can I phone a friend?
It's in the sort of era we're talking about. Well, what we're recording at the moment.
I don't know. I've told you before. I know we do all these music episodes, and I know nothing about music. The only other Mick I can think of is a musician is the Hucknall, and that can't be right because he's far too young.
No.
Mick Fleetwood.
No, it is Mick Taylor.
Who?
Mick Taylor. I think he came in when Brian.
So he was a tailor, not a musician.
Yes.
So he made them all their suits.
Nominate Andrew.
Go away.
He's been nominated. You can nominate somebody else.
And I haven't sat down for a week since.
God.
Who would you like to nominate that isn't Andrew?
Lisa. That way we can swap to Warren after.
Okay, sure.
Do Lisa now. Probably best.
Can I do you now, Adam?
Are you ready for your question, Lisa?
I am ready, yes.
Brace yourself.
Okay. Blimey. In literature, Abel Magwitch is the financial benefactor of which character?
Oh, it's Pippin, Great Expectations. I don't know what his surname is.
Philip Pirrip.
That's it. I was going to say Pip, but that would be...
Ahoy, Pip.
Bin.
On that note, I'm going to swap with Warren. So.
No, you were right, so that's good.
Hang on, they've got to walk round the cat who sat in the way.
I've got to pass over the equipment.
Oh. We're doing a quiz, Warren.
Oh, sorry, yes. Ear. The answer to the question's ear.
Are you ready for a question? What is the largest inland lake in South America? That's a difficult one. If you think of a rude-sounding lake, you might get it.
Don't invite Warren to be rude.
It's not a rude-sounding lake.
No, there's two of those lakes.
It is Lake Titicaca. I think Martin.
We're stunning tonight. Wow.
I think Toppy's the last one now. Unfortunately, getting Uncle John, he's got. Well, he's not got. But I can't do the question
laryngitis.
For some reason. Toppy, the Stanislavski method is associated with which profession?
Warren's putting his hand up.
I put the hand up. Sorry, I'll bring it back out again.
Let Toppy have a go.
Yeah. No problem at all.
I have heard of this. Stan, is it a method of? God bless it. I've heard of this, but this is just going to have to be a complete guess because I'm just going to guess it's a method of doing some sort of instrument or music.
No, not quite. Warren, did you have a?
It's acting.
That's right. Yes.
Acting.
It is. Yes. That's all of the information I have, but that's right.
It's a breakdown.
As opposed to Stanislavski syndrome, where you become somebody else and can't not be.
Yeah.
Now I know your Uncle John wants to say something, but I have something to mention to Toppy.
Get him to write it down on a card and hold it up, and we can all read it.
Toppy, I thought you might.
I'm not switching on that video.
Toppy, I thought you might be interested. Tonight I watched I guess it's a slasher film from 1981, which I'd not seen before, but which I'd definitely heard of, and I think I've heard a podcast about, but I just wondered if it was one that you knew. It was called Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker.
Good Lord. Paul, not only have I not seen, I've never heard of it.
What a coincidence.
Wow. The ear. It was later re-released as Night Warning, but
was it possibly released under a different title in the US of A?
Well, I think that was the US title. Night Warning. I think that's the way around it was.
I thought it was released in 1980, but there was a delay. It was initially released, and then it was withdrawn for some edits, and then re-released in 81.
Well, that's quite possible. A lot of these ones are get delayed and re-released. Sometimes they get released and then they think, oh, that didn't. Well, let's change the title and re-release it again and pretend it's a different film.
Armitage Shanks made a slasher film, didn't it?
What was that called?
Flushed Away. No, that was Pixar, wasn't it? That made that one.
I can tell you, Toppy, some of the people who are in it, you might recognise the names.
All right.
Susan Terrell, Bo Svensson, Bill Paxton had a small part.
Okay, Bill Paxton. All right.
Bill Paxton's in everything in the 80s.
Somebody we've actually heard of was in it.
I've heard of Bo Svensson, but I don't
have
know.
you?
I have too.
I mean, I might be our postman. Yeah.
Beauregard was in Carry On, Follow That Camping, wasn't he?
Follow that camping. What are you talking about?
Sorry.
Go and lie down, Warren. You're overexcited.
I think that was Bo Diddley.
Bo Diddley, yes.
Bo Legs.
Bo Legs.
Susan Terrell I've heard of too. She was...
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Susan Terrell was in the film. She was eating the scenery, but no, I'm not sure if she was meant to be or.
No, that's a giant spider invasion.
I'm so glad I saw it. I'm going to go and I'm going to listen to the podcast again now. I've seen it. All
right.
It was on. I don't get paid to advertise. It was on Shudder though, in which I think is in the States as well. But it's directed by William Asher. Now, William Asher, he was married to Elizabeth Montgomery, and I think maybe directed All the Bewitched, or was certainly involved heavily with Bewitched. But not very similar to Bewitched. But yes, Uncle John, do you want to? We're going to have to wrap up in a minute. So, do you want to say what you had to say? Have you been fiddling with your joystick? No. I've actually been thinking. Whilst I've been thinking, I was thinking that what would be quite useful, I think, is that I think that somebody should write an autobiography maybe of the Shy Life podcast, and I think that should be me. I think the world should know how the show began, how it was my idea. You think, Uncle John, it wasn't your idea? It was my idea. Don't you remember? Well, I don't know. Yeah, and how we met Ick, how we met Martin, not Martin Holmes. The other Martin, the original,
the real one. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
The original Martin, the one that sniffs.
Are you an imposter, Martin?
Apparently so. I'm a facsimile. I'm a photocopy.
It's a change, my dear, and not a moment too soon.
I'll have you know, Martin Holmes, that I actually stood up for you the other day when I was talking to. We were rolling dice, and Sniffy Martin, he was saying something, and I said that I would swap him for you because you're much more reliable. Yeah. But
well, that makes one of you.
I think I should do this. I think I should do it. It's what the world is crying out for. Yeti Uncle John, we need to have a talk about this. Yeti Uncle John, come back. Yeti Uncle, I don't think the world needs an autobiography of the Shy Life podcast written from the point of view of Yeti Uncle John, but I can imagine it'll be very, very
expose.
Oh dear. This happens to just beware. I'm sure this is. Has this happened to you on the Smellcast, Toppy? I'm sure it must have done. Has Andrea Stream Missile? Has she done autobiographical stuff that's made her look good? Or
absolutely. I mean, she's going to make a buck off of anything.
Yeah.
And sometimes she does biographical material that's wholly made up of fabrications. But
Well, hopefully that won't happen in this case, but we'll see.
No.
I did find a journalist going through the bins at my podcast. But digging the dirt and all that kind of thing. But they went away. They were a bit bored.
Mine put theirs back in the bin and just went away tutting.
Made it sound more interesting by adding a burger.
Has there been anything scandalous happened around the archives?
Well, we just leave those bits in usually, to be honest.
Well, it depends whether they've finished the bottle yet or not.
You hear everything.
I'm surrounded by the empties. I tell you, it's terrible in here. I can't get to the door. And if you got a sunny day, the sunshine rinsing off all the empties, and I'm blinded.
I cannot tell a lie.
They can't hurt you if you tell
You can't stand up either.
Oh God.
Well, I think it looks like we have run out of time now. I don't have any of you anything you want to say before?
Yeah, I do, Paul. I just want to take a minute to seriously say, Martin, I've enjoyed Space Soldiers very, very much. I think it's wonderfully entertaining, and I've been listening to it without watching the actual material at the same time, and it works perfectly. But I must say, I really do want to experience it. I'm going to listen again, and I want to be actually looking at the serial itself, but just even without that, it's wonderfully entertaining. So good job.
Thank you very much.
And what are all your current episodes? What's the latest?
Episode 11 was out today. No, episode 12 was out today. That's right. It's 13 parts, the first one, isn't it? So for some bizarre reason, we never quite got to the bottom of it. But yeah. So it was Trapped in the Turret today.
Which is always painful.
And what's the next episode of Vision on Sound?
You're in it a lot in June. It's been a very busy month for people, so I'm scrabbling around trying to find somebody to talk to, anybody to talk to. No, funnily enough, your one on the monkeys is fairly imminent. So on manufactured pop. So yeah, that's coming in June. As is our what was the other one we had a chat about? I edited it. I've forgotten it immediately.
Did horror, but I'm not.
Yes, I've not edited horror yet. But no, I'm in the middle of trying to decide whether a very long interview I did with somebody is going to be interesting enough to be 2 episodes, or whether I need to slash about 50 minutes out of it to make it 1 episode. So,
Yeti, Uncle John, I told you not to talk so long. And Toppy, what's going on in Matinee Minutia Land and Smellcast Land?
Matinee Minutia, we're going to do Jeffrey this coming Friday. Live. It'll be a live streaming thing, 9 p.m. our time on the East Coast. You guys will be asleep, so don't worry.
It'll be released as a podcast, I think.
Yeah. And over on the Smellcast, this is the whole summer of celebrating the bicentennial of Pickle Hollow. Wow. So so many terribly exciting things are happening. So there you go.
And Andrew and Lisa, what's the most recent episode around the archives?
Well, what is it, Andrew? What was that meant to be? Voices off the room. I had to do a voice. Warren's gone very strange. I've just released the pressure. Well, Lisa's gone upstairs for some reason.
Oh, dear, okay.
It's shocking.
It sounded just like her.
Oh, that was for Penelope Pitstop.
They're interchangeable, don't you know?
It sounded like somebody caught something in a revolving door. Carry on.
Well, the latest
Trapped in the turret.
archives.
Yeah, I trapped mine in a turret.
Oh dear, I can hardly follow that, but the latest round the archives, just out a week or so ago.
What are you looking at me for?
I don't know.
Because you're in it.
Right up to my neck.
Is Martin on Cosmos?
Oh, Cosmos.
Yeah.
Cosmos.
Oh, I'll take that again because I coughed. Is Martin on Cosmos?
Cosmos!
Thank you. Warren on Circle of Fear.
Hard drugs, more like.
Yes. Graveyard Shift, isn't
Graveyard
it?
Shift,
Yes.
yes.
With John Astin. Toppy and Paul on Fantasy Island.
The plane!
The plane!
The plane.
And Lisa, who's apparently just flushed the toilet.
I was going to say she's on the loo.
Oh, is that the American remake of The Loo? Or...
And Lisa and me on Time Team. Talking about archaeology, and I'm going to stop speaking now. Cause...
He's in pain again.
Well, listeners,
we have realism here.
We have descended into
live
chaos.
as it happens.
This is real life.
The amount of times I've had a flush toilet in the background during an episode of the Charlotte podcast. It's nothing new.
You should stop recording
just
it
wandering
public
in.
convenience.
Just comes in from off the street.
And coincidentally, all the episodes we picked earlier.
Spot the toilet in the background. Yeah.
Spot the loo.
Right, well, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you to Lisa and Warren and Andrew.
I'm doing something. You're not going to ask me. Am I going to heckle from the
Because you're
back?
part of Around the Archives. Have you started your new podcast yet?
No, well, I know my little project of a raspberry movie and a foot-long dog.
How's that going, Warren? How's that going?
It's actually going to start in July.
Right.
Thank you for asking, Andrew. That's very
right.
kind of you.
I have.
It's about food production.
I'm subscribed already.
Oh, at least I have one loyal listener. You're right, dear. You're right. Lisa's back.
Lisa's back. Warren filled in for you while you weren't here.
I did a very good mimic.
He did a voice.
I had no...
No, not yet. You've got to say goodbye.
Oh, goodbye.
No, not yet.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Well, that's it.
Carry
Goodbye.
Oh, I've just got here.
Oh, it's the other glasses.
Are we ready to start?
Do it together. Hold it together. Say goodbye.
Bye.
I was. Farewell.
Good thing, but y'all, you're nutty. You're all nutty as a fruitcake. Yeah.
My auntie's a fruitcake.
Nutty.
Oh, I misheard that. I'm sorry. I did move my ears away from the headphones.
Don't pull it. It'll come off.
I'll give it back to Lisa. Hold the equipment.
Somebody sit down. It's not long enough. It won't stretch.
The light's so bright. It's burning my eye.
Are they still there?
Yes.
Okay.
They're still going. He hasn't cut yet.
It was quiet.
I've had enough of sitting down.
Sorry about that.
This is going to be a dreadful edit.
I just have aches thinking
That's probably going to be the best sign off to a podcast.
I think we can stop recording now.
Bye-bye.
You've all done very well.
Well, listeners, I hope you enjoyed that episode. We did chat quite a lot. That there were all manner of things going on, and well, as you can tell, I'm recording this before we recorded the episode, so I don't know what happened, but I'm sure it was very good. I'm sure it was very busy. But we are coming to the end of the show, though, and because we've had some flashbacks this episode, there probably won't be that much after the end theme, but you know me, I can't do a Shy Life podcast episode without some extra material of some sort, so we'll see. Anyway, we will be back again soon. I hope you enjoyed what we got up to this episode. I'd like to thank all my guests, and and join us again soon, because there are plenty of episodes in the can. And all right, you take care, and I'll say goodbye for now. Bye-bye now. Bye.
I gotta go now. Bye. Gotta go. Bye.
Goodbye, 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 goodbye.
This show is part of the Pride 48 network. Find more shows over at pride48.com.
Oh dear, what's going on now? Oh, it's the Shy Life podcast.
Let's go.
I have a voice. I have a voice.
You have a voice.
You have a voice. We have a voice.
We have a voice.
Unique voices in podcasting.
UnivazPods.net.
Okay, we are recording this end. Ah, dear. Paul is typing. And Rose is digging in the bin. Is it Rose?
I think so.
Is Rose excavating?
She's got out now anyway, so.
Yeah. Is she finished?
Going down the pub. She's not wearing a hoodie and her boots aren't dirty.
I am not a hoodie. Do I look like a hoodie? Do. You right over there, Warren? Are you one of the boys? Paul says I will start collecting you all up. Like we're little bits of...
Flotsam and jetsam.
Paul's there, Martin's there.
We're not all there.
I'm not all there.
Hello.
Hello.
Right,
we are okay.
Warren says hello.
Oh, hello.
Oh dear. If we just merged into extra material seamlessly.
Probably, yes.
It's all a matter of fading in and fading out.
Yeah, just make us dance off into the distance. or something.
Oh, Deus has arrived. You want to go on the
Ours have disappeared. Where've they gone?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, even the cats are bad with them.
Right.
They're not professional in that.
Hello.
Hello. Say hello, Warren.
Hello, Warren.
Yes, should just be a hard taskmaster, Paul, and I can respond to that.
444. Just the weirdest thing I've ever heard.